From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Ashley Humphrey.
And I'm Lee Jeffries. Thanks for joining us.
Lee, we've had a bit of a break since we were last on desk together.
Yeah, after 2 weeks off, I'm excited to be back, Ashley.
Well, you know who else has had a break? UNC men's basketball.
That's right. After losing to Duke, they've had a full week to prepare for their game against Pitt. The team is home tomorrow for a crucial ACC matchup against the Panthers. After that tough 17-point loss to Duke, Carolina is looking to bounce back against a 14-8 Pitt squad.
The last time they met, the Panthers won 73-65. They capitalized on 14 UNC turnovers for 22 points. The Heels also struggled offensively, shooting just 31% in the second half and 1 for 11 from 3.
If Carolina wants to win, they must limit turnovers and execute late. Both have been key areas of concern this season. Pitt is coming off a 16-point loss to Virginia and is looking to even out their record in conference play.
With March approaching, we can definitely expect a physical battle as both teams will be fighting for momentum.
Speaking of battles, defenses have had no answers for RJ Davis and Ian Jackson, both of whom have lit up scoreboards all season long. Davis is one of the nation's top 10 candidates for the 2025 Jerry West Award. The competition is fierce, with sharpshooters like Caleb Love and PJ Haggerty also in the mix, but make no mistake, Davis isn't just a contender, he's the one to beat.
And similarly, Jackson's dominance as a small forward has earned him a spot as one of the candidates for the prestigious Julius Erving Award. It won't be easy to win, with basketball phenoms like Cooper Flagg and Ace Bailey also in the running. But in Jackson, we trust.
Our women's basketball team travels to Tigertown on Sunday to battle the Clemson Tigers. Even with the Tigers being on a 2-loss streak, Tessa Miller is a threat, scoring a season high of 19 points against Boston College last week. Racking up an average of 6.5 rebounds, Miller is looking to outbody Alyssa Utsby's average of 9.9 rebounds, making the paint the place to look. These women's basketball teams haven't seen each other since New Year's Eve in 2023, but with the Heels being 6-0 on the road, they're ready to take down the Tigers on their home court.
It's time for a new segment on Sports Extra called Hot Takes and Debates, where we discuss our personal takes on UNC athletics. So Lee, my first hot take is that I think the ACC needs a rename. After adding 3 teams that aren't on the East Coast, we need to start calling ourselves the All-Coast Conference.
I completely agree with that, Ashley. While the name ACC does have a lot of respect and tradition, the conference no longer just represents the Atlantic, and I think the name needs to evolve to show this. Speaking of evolution, do you think Caleb Wilson has what it takes to surpass Caleb Love?
Well, Love may have left a little unceremoniously, but he's still a Tar Heel legend. After he hit that clutch 3-pointer against Duke in the 2022 Final Four, I absolutely think Wilson still has the potential, but it's not going to be easy.
Wilson definitely has some big shoes to fill, but I agree that the potential isn't there.
Well, we've seen all the trades happening in the NBA. If we could do college basketball trades, who are you bringing to UNC?
Ashley, we've already mentioned him once in this show. I'd bring in PJ Haggerty. He's shown he can adapt quickly, transferring from Tulsa to Memphis this past season and already putting up an impressive 21.7 points. At 6'3", he's not the tallest, but he definitely brings the height and scoring that UNC could use right now.
I completely agree, and while our postseason dreams might not seem very attainable, that is not the case for UNC baseball.
For the Diamond Heels, reaching Omaha is more than a goal, it's a tradition. Alden Archdeacon takes us to the UNC Baseball Preseason Media Day as the Heels gear up for the upcoming season.
The Diamond Heels, a legacy forged in the heart of Boshamer Stadium. 12 trips to Omaha, 2 runner-up finishes, and this year the mission is clear, for the Heels to get back. Leading the charge is head coach Scott Forbes, a proven leader and someone who knows a little about what it takes to make it to Omaha.
That's a powerful thing because you get there and you know what it's like, and everybody in that locker room that was there wants to go back badly, and then they can tell all the new guys, hey, here's what it takes, so you know to get there.
Coach Forbes has been able to put together a talented roster for this upcoming season, including some returners and some new faces. One of the key returners is third baseman Gavin Gallagher.
This team is only going to be this team once. It's never going to be the same again. And so You can compare to last year. We can talk about what we did well last year. You can take certain things that can help, but we just have to focus on how this team can come together and this team can play their best baseball every day.
And there's no doubt the roster had a shakeup during the offseason. The Heels lost star center fielder Vance Honeycutt to the MLB draft. But Liberty transfer Kane Kepley is ready for the challenge of replacing him.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's really what I can do out there. I'm trying to fill my own shoes, not fill his. So that's the way I look at it. And I know what they accomplished here. I'm aware of it. And we're going to try to do something just as good as that or even better.
And the road starts here, the Bosch. UNC has its sights set back on Omaha, but this time they want more. I'm Deacon reporting.
The road back to Omaha starts at the Bosch, where the Heels will take on Texas Tech in their season opener on February 14th.
The men's and women's swim teams are making a splash at the UNC Invitational, which runs through tomorrow. The men are ranked 14th, while the women hit the pool as number 15 in the country. UNC came out strong in Thursday's preliminaries, showcasing speed and skill in the 500-yard freestyle, 200-yard IM, and 50-yard freestyle. The UNC Invitational features a competitive lineup of in-state teams. Duke, NC State, East Carolina, and UNC Wilmington will be joining the Tar Heels. Senior Martin Cavardi made waves in the 500-yard freestyle, while junior Michelle Morgan dominated the 500-yard freestyle, helping propel Carolina comfortably into the finals. The Heels finished off day one on a high. 11 Tar Heels set personal best, Michelle Morgan in the women's 500 freestyle, and Samantha Arman in the 200 individual medley. And the men's 400 medley relay A team all set times fast enough to be in contention for the NCAA championships. The Heels are already back in the pool for more prelims today, and the event concludes tomorrow night. The wait is over. Carolina lacrosse is back. The Tar Heels open their season this weekend with a matchup against Michigan at Dorrance Field on Saturday at noon. Both teams look to make an early statement. UNC enters the season ranked 16th, led by a blend of veterans and young talent. Sophomore Owen Duffy headlines the offense, while senior Paul Barton and grad transfer Michael John Vaccaro anchor the defense. Michigan, ranked 15th, poses a tough challenge with a high-powered offense and physical midfield play. Ball movement and transition will be key for Carolina, while Michigan's defense will test their execution. Face-offs and ground balls will be crucial in this early season showdown. The first game always brings surprises. Will Carolina come out firing, or can Michigan steal one on the road?
Now let's take it to Stick Checks with Stalter for an outlook on the men's lacrosse season.
Thanks, Lee. Tomorrow's game against Michigan will be UNC's first of 9 matchups against ranked opponents, including 6 of the top 8 teams in the country. After finishing last among ACC teams last season, the Heels need to make a statement, but that statement will have to come without 2 of their top 3 scorers from last year. One man looking to fill this gap is James Matton. The attackman scored 12 goals last season and led the team in scoring in their ranked win against Penn. Number 7 is at his best behind the cage when he can turn the corner, and he excels at finishing through contact. Another man poised for a breakout season is Chapel Hill's own Ryan Levy. The son of women's lacrosse coach Jen Levy was Carolina Lax born and bred. He started just 4 games last season, but led the team with 5 man-up goals. The door is wide open for the senior, and I expect big things from 14 in 2025.
Thanks, Dylan. Can't wait to watch the Heels take Dorrance tomorrow.
In women's lacrosse, the 4th-ranked Tar Heels are set for a big weekend with back-to-back matchups. Later today, Carolina takes on number 18 James Madison at Dorrance Field, led by preseason All-ACC team selections Kaylee Harden, Brooklyn Walker-Welch, and Marissa White, who were all back after injuries last season. Then they hit the road to face Liberty on Sunday. Hopes are high for these key players in the nation's number 1 freshman class. Let's turn it over to our women's lacrosse analyst, Sophia Gray, with Ground Balls with Gray for insights into the 2025 season.
Thanks, Ashley. Last season, Carolina women's lacrosse wrapped up with a 10-7 record, finishing the year ranked 18th in the nation. But this year, the Tar Heels are back in familiar territory, starting off as the preseason number 4 team in the country. That ranking is no surprise. Carolina has built a powerhouse program under legendary head coach Jenny Levy. But what is surprising? For the first time ever, 3 superstar sisters will suit up on Dorrance Field together this afternoon. Nicole, Ashley, and Chloe Humphrey. A family trio ready to make history for the Tar Heels. Chloe Humphrey is the youngest. The #1 recruit in her class had to redshirt last year due to an injury. She's confident in her game. You can see here, she's going to take her defender on a one-on-one around the crease and fire a bullet as soon as she sees the slightest opening. Chloe is ready and eager to make her long-awaited debut for the Tar Heels tonight against James Madison. Next, we have Ashley Humphrey, ranked 26th by Inside Lacrosse. This dynamic attacker is a serious threat in the low attack position, crafty, precise, and always dangerous around the cage. Here, Ashley's going to catch the ball, she's going to throw a pump fake, and boom. Just like that, the ball is in the back of the net. And finally, we have Nicole Humphrey, the oldest of the trio, is back in Carolina Blue for her final year of eligibility. The veteran midfielder spent her past academic year in California, but now she's returning to Chapel Hill for one final season. We see here her speed. She's going to see her defender turns her head, cuts through the 8, and immediately fires a bullet into the top right corner. 3 sisters, 3 elite talents, and 1 goal, leading Carolina lacrosse back to the top. The Humphrey trio takes the field this afternoon, ready to leave their mark on the Tar Heel legacy.
Sophia, with the season opener tonight, how do you think the year will go for the Heels?
I'm not going to lie, Ashley. Carolina has a very difficult schedule this season. They play defending national champion Boston College, preseason #1 Syracuse, along with other powerhouse programs such as Northwestern and Florida. But I think the Heels have the talent and coaching expertise to go all the way this year.
Well, if they can pull off those wins, it will definitely be an exciting spring. Thanks, Sophia.
The wrestling Heels are wheels up to Pennsylvania to face the 15th ranked Pittsburgh Panthers tonight. Last Friday, the 18th ranked UNC wrestling team faced off against the 6th ranked NC State Wolfpack in a heated rivalry at Carmichael Arena. Carolina has set the tone for this season with dominant takedowns and high energy scrambles. With standout performances from several athletes, each match has been electric. The Heels have fought tooth and nail for every win, and today will be no different. The Panthers have swift defensive maneuvers and strong reversals. Pairing that with the home advantage in this matchup, the Heels are in for a brutal fight.
Track and field is heading up to Blacksburg for the Virginia Tech Doc Hale Elite. After Michaela Page broke the UNC women's 800-meter record in Boston last weekend, fans are hoping the senior can do it again in Virginia. She placed second in finals with a time of 2 minutes, 0.57 seconds. Senior Ethan Strand will compete in the mile following his record-breaking weekend. Softball is rounding the bases to their season opener, being hosted by Auburn in the Tiger Invitational. The team will play 5 games during the course of 3 days, playing their first game today at 1:30. The Tar Heels are starting the season with more than half a roster of new faces. Alex Coleman and Sana Thompson are both ranked in the top 30 outfielders in the country. These might be non-conference games, but the Heels will be facing top pitchers across the 4 teams. First pitch against App State is in less than 2 hours.
On Sunday, Carolina Gymnastics will face off against the Clemson Tigers. Freshman JoJo Valahovic is the Atlantic Coast Conference Newcomer of the Week, the second rookie in UNC's history to win. After earning their worst bar score, the Heels fell short against the Tigers last season, but reaching a program high on bars this season was Lolly Decanoisa with a 9.975. It will be a tough battle as the 23rd and 24th NCAA ranked teams face off at Carmichael Arena. Social media sensation and 5-star recruit Anna Fry has committed to UNC's women's tennis team. The class of 2026 player out of Utah announced her verbal commitment via Instagram. In her post, Fry expresses her gratitude to family, friends, and coaches and claims she is so excited to be a Tar Heel. Fry is ranked the #1 junior player in Utah and Mountain Region rankings and was previously the #3 ranked junior player in the nation by the USTA. 3 days ago was National Girls and Women in Sports Day, so we decided to share 2 women who are inspirations to us.
Lee, I chose Alona Marr. She won a bronze medal with the U.S. women's rugby team at the 2024 Paris Olympics, and she's the most followed rugby player on social media. She's a huge champion of body positivity, and she really encourages young women to embrace their athleticism, and she even just went on Dancing with the Stars just to try something new.
Ashley, while we celebrate the incredible achievements of female athletes, we also want to give a shout out to the amazing women working behind the scenes. One standout is Kendra Douglas, a UNC alum who's now the team reporter for the Orlando Magic. She's an inspiration to journalists everywhere and a 2-time Edward R. Murrow Award winner. Against all odds, Carolina women's club rugby team is proving that you don't need years of experience to dominate on the field. Madeline Heitschuh tells us that most players join the team without ever having picked up a rugby ball.
A majority of the players on the team came with athletic experience ranging from track to swimming to soccer, but never considered rugby until they heard about the team at Carolina.
I was really nervous because I didn't know anything. I didn't know the rules. I didn't know how to throw the ball. I didn't know how to hold the ball. But my teammates taught me everything that I know now.
What sets this team apart isn't just their raw athleticism, it's their willingness to embrace the sport from scratch. They didn't have years of rugby training. What they had was a shared commitment to learning, improving, and pushing themselves to new limits.
We just, we put in a lot of work into practices and just learned all the basics first so that we could go apply ourselves and just work together to try to achieve a common goal. And even if we came up short, we just knew what we had to improve for next time.
Starting each season with brand new players, the team is able to push themselves not only as a team, but as individuals too. The rugby season starts soon, and we are ready to see our Heels battle it out for success. I'm Madeline Heitschuh reporting.
The Heels are at home tomorrow for a friendly against the Wolfpack.
You guys voted on our Instagram, and the results are in. It is time to announce our first winner of 2025 for the Play of the Week. It is Ethan Strand with the 3rd fastest indoor mile of all time. Strand is now the first college runner to post a sub 3:50 mile time. Make sure to tune in next week for another Sports Extra Play of the Week. And while Saturday's basketball game was a little disappointing, there was some excitement before the game from our football program. Last week, students in sororities and fraternities received an email notification that Bill Belichick wanted to send in pizzas for game day.
Not only was every organization delivered a Domino's pepperoni pizza, but each one also received a handwritten note from Belichick and the UNC football program.
And I think this tweet in the middle said it best. Bill Bell bought pizza for every frat at UNC for the game versus Duke. That's tough.
I have to agree, that is pretty tough. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We will be back next Friday, as Monday is a wellness day, with a preview of another exciting weekend in Carolina athletics.